Within 24 hours of Donald Trump making erratic social media posts saying that he would impose 25% blanket tariffs on Canada and Mexico, the recently elected president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, responded with a statement saying that two can play at this game and that she is prepared essentially for a trade war against the United States. She's prepared to implement retaliatory tariffs against the United States. She also points out that 70% of illegal guns that's in her country, in Mexico, come from the United States. She points out that the reason for the opioid crisis is that the consumers of it, 99%, are in the United States of America. And also, if we want to talk about fentanyl coming into America, most of that is coming from Americans. She says, look, we're prepared to cooperate as a trading partner, but we know exactly where the pain points are in the United States economy, which relies on a lot of goods that are manufactured in Mexico, also a lot of produce that comes through Mexico. And so if you're going to try to screw us over, we'll go screw you over as well, and will cause pain to your companies. I want to show you the letter that she drafted, or the statement that she sent out. And I think it's also important to point out as well that she indicates, look, there aren't really caravans right now that you're fear-mongering about. She said that border crossings are down significantly. Look, as we've been reporting here on the MeidasTouch network, after Republicans killed a bipartisan border deal and President Biden was then forced to take action unilaterally when he was actually trying to do it the right way through bipartisan legislation, but Trump said kill the bipartisan border deal. Border crossings are down now to quantities that are lower, frankly, than when Trump was even in office. Let's just take a look, or right around the same. Let's take a look at this statement from Claudia Sheinbaum. I just want you to hear her words directly. And those from Ishan Tharoor, who goes, Mexican President Sheinbaum fires back at Trump in a statement. Here's what she says. 70% of the illegal weapons seized from criminals in Mexico come from your country. We do not produce these weapons, nor do we consume synthetic drugs. Tragically, it is in our country that lives are lost to the violence resulting from meeting the drug demand in yours. Here's the full statement. And again, I'm sure you see articles about this. You may see snippets on the news. Here at the MeidasTouch Network, we go to the source, we read the statements. May take a little more time, but we have to be very clear and specific in our language as reporters, right? So let's go to the source. Here's what President Sheinbaum of Mexico says. Mexico City, November 26, 2024. Dear President-elect Donald Trump, I'm writing to you regarding your statement on Monday, November 25th. By the way, it was a social media post. How embarrassing. Concerning migration, fentanyl trafficking, and tariffs. You may not be aware that Mexico has developed a comprehensive policy to assist migrants from different parts of the world who cross our territory en route to the southern border of the United States. As a result, and according to data from your country's Custom and Border Protection, CBP, encounters at the Mexico-United States border have decreased by 75% between December 2023 and November 2024. Moreover, half of those who arrive do so through a legally scheduled appointment under the United States CBP-1 program. For these reasons, migrant caravans no longer arrive at the border. Even so, it is clear that we must work together to create a new labor mobility model that is necessary for your country, as well as address the root causes that compel families to leave their homes out of necessity. If even a small percentage of what the United States allocates to war were instead dedicated to building peace and fostering development, it would address the underlying causes of human mobility. On another note, and for humanitarian reasons, Mexico has consistently expressed its willingness to help prevent the fentanyl epidemic in the United States from continuing. This, after all, is a public health and consumption problem within your society. So far this year, Mexican armed forces and prosecutors have seized tons of various types of drugs, 10,340 firearms, and have detained 15,640 individuals for violence related to drug trafficking. Furthermore, the Mexican Congress is in the process of approving a constitutional reform to classify the production, distribution, and commercialization of fentanyl and other synthetic drugs as a serious crime without bail. However, it is publicly known that the chemical precursors used to produce this and other synthetic drugs are illegally entering Canada, the United States, and Mexico from Asian countries. This underscores the urgent need for international collaboration. You must also be aware of the illegal trafficking of firearms into my country from the United States. 70% of the illegal weapons seized from criminals in Mexico come from your country. We do not produce these weapons, nor do we consume synthetic drugs. Tragically, it is in our country that lives are lost to the violence resulting from meeting the drug demand in yours. President Trump, migration and drug consumption in the United States cannot be addressed through threats or tariffs. What is needed is cooperation and mutual understanding to tackle these significant challenges. For every tariff, there will be a response in kind until we put at risk our shared enterprises. Yes, shared. For instance, among Mexico's main exporters to the United States are General Motors, Stellantis, and Ford Motor Company, which arrived in Mexico 80 years ago. Why impose a tariff that would jeopardize them? Such a measure would be unacceptable and would lead to inflation and job losses in both the United States and Mexico. I am convinced that North America's economic strength lies in maintaining our trade partnership. This allows us to remain competitive against other economic blocs. For this reason, I believe that a dialogue is the best path to understanding peace and prosperity for our nations. I hope our teams can meet soon to continue building joint solutions. That's our letter right there.
All right, let me tell you, between juggling work, life, and everything in between, figuring out what's for dinner can feel like an impossible task. But dinner doesn't have to be stressful, boring, or bland anymore, thanks to Marley Spoon. It's hands down the best meal kit I've ever tried, and trust me, I've tried quite a few. The taste unmatched, the convenience life-saving. This podcast is sponsored by Marley Spoon, the meal kit that delivers amazing food and saves you time. And here's the best part. When you go to marleyspoon.com/offer/Meidas and use code Meidas, MEIDAS, you can get up to 27 free meals. You heard that right. Up to 27 free meals. With Marley Spoon, you get to choose from over 100 recipes every week, including options like Cajun Spice Chicken, Butternut Squash Gnocchi, and even a vegan burrito bowl. My personal favorite recently, their chicken with honey garlic pan sauce. The flavors were so good, and I felt like a gourmet chef in my own kitchen. And since we're in the holiday season, Marley Spoon has festive meals and desserts to make every gathering extra special. Think duck breast with sour cherry sauce and crispy Persian rice, or holiday breakfast waffles with candied bacon. Yes, it's as delicious as it sounds. Plus, they've got exclusive recipes for Martha Stewart's 100th cookbook that will take your holiday meals to the next level. What I love most about Marley Spoon is how customizable it is. So whether you're vegetarian, low carb, or feeding a picky family, there's something for everyone. And it's not just about the recipes. They even have an in-house registered dietitian who makes sure the meals are balanced and healthy. It's like having a personal chef and nutritionist rolled into one. Not to mention, Marley Spoon saves me from those last-minute grocery trips. They've got an online market with over 125 pantry essentials like ready-to-heat options, Lux proteins, and even snacks. I just add what I need to my box and it's all delivered together. So easy. This holiday season, give the gift of great personalized food with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/Meidas and use code Meidas for up to 27 free meals. That's right, up to 27 free meals with Marley Spoon. One last time, that's marleyspoon.com/offer/Meidas, and make sure you use our promo code Meidas, MEIDAS, so they know that I sent you.
I wanted to share that with you also, because now I want to show you how kind of the MAGA propaganda is talking about this. So here are all the right-wing accounts, and here's what they are saying right now. So this is Zero Hedge goes, well, that was fast. Mexican President Sheinbaum says migrant caravans are no longer arriving at the U.S.-Mexican border. Sheinbaum, I'm at the view that we'll reach agreements with U.S. Sheinbaum, we are seeking to meet U.S. as soon as possible. And they all have the same messaging. DC Drano, one of these right-wing influencer accounts. I could show you hundreds of these. I'm just going to show you a few. With the stroke of a presidential pen, Trump plans to enact a 25% tariff on all products from Mexico and Canada, and a 10% tariff on China. Why? Because now he has all the leverage to negotiate trade deals and policies. We're putting the American worker first again, not Wall Street. Monica Crowley. The Trump effect. Within hours of President Trump announcing that he will implement 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau called him to talk border security, and the Mexican president announced illegal alien caravans will be stopped. There's another account. And they all get boosted by Elon Musk on that right-wing hellhole that's become Twitter, now X. A day after Trump threatened tariffs on Mexico, Mexican President Sheinbaum announces that migrant caravans are no longer reaching the U.S. border. Breaking 12 hours. Yeah, they're all the same. They literally copy and paste each other's messages. Breaking 12 hours after Trump announced he would be putting a 25% tariff on all goods in from Mexico due to border insanity. Mexico has announced they will be stopping all caravans at the border. See, Joe, that wasn't hard. Again, that's not what the letter said. The letter said is you may not be aware of this, but basically your fear-mongering is false. And if we look at the headlines of what's been going down, you will see the headlines that we've been reporting about here on the MeidasTouch network. This was from July 2024. Border crossings fall to their lowest monthly number in the Biden administration. Or this was from today. Unlawful crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border are on track to drop to a new low for the Biden administration in November, according to Border Patrol data. President-elect Trump could very well inherit a relatively quiet border. That's what we were saying. The status was that after the Republicans killed a bipartisan border deal, because President Biden, silly him, was trying to go through the lawful process of Congress until that was stopped, he then took it unilaterally and fixed it, and now it's in a good position. Exclusives from November 2024. Exclusive. U.S. border arrests remain lower in October amid Biden's policies. It goes on to say, this is from November 12, 2024, Washington Post. Donald Trump has pledged to quickly subdue migrant crossings at the southern border by restoring the policies of his first term, including remain in Mexico. Returning to office, Trump stands to inherit enforcement tools from the Biden administration. I guess they didn't get the message here. This is the National Republican Congressional Campaign Committee. Dangerous migrants make their last effort to flood our border during the final days of the Biden administration. Crisscrossed your messaging there. This is from the Mirror. Illegal immigrant crossings at new low. This is how you write a headline, by the way. The Mirror. Illegal immigrant crossings at new low despite Trump's fear-mongering. Those are all the facts. I mean, you could judge the facts however you want them, but let's not live in alternative realities right there. What Sheinbaum was saying is we're ready to have a trade war if you start to go down this route with us. And then the MAGAs are like, oh, that shows how strong Donald Trump is. It shows how strong he is, really? I mean, to me, it shows how strong President Sheinbaum is in standing up to Donald Trump. But it also goes to the point that I've said in other videos. Trump could just literally do nothing, go on auto drive, and take credit for Biden's accomplishments, but he's not. He wants to provoke these trade wars, and as he and Elon Musk said, force us all into hardship. They said, you all the people, not the billionaires, hardship is coming for you. Why would we want that? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.